Well, with summer around the corner, now is the time when many of us are making travel plans, or at least thinking about it. Canada is home to many beautiful places, and for some of us, they could be even very close to home. Here with more on bucket list experiences in provinces like Ontario, Nova Scotia, British Columbia, and Quebec, travel expert Kaitlin Narciso joins us now in studio. Good morning, Kaitlin.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, it's great to have you here this morning, and always great to think about travel. I love it. I know we were talking before this interview started. You travel quite a lot, obviously, as well, being a travel expert. Is it possible sometimes, though, that we overlook Canada and our home area for travel plans? And why do you think it's important that maybe we don't do that? We focus a little bit more on our backyard.
Well, I think with the cost of living increasing so much, Canadians are kind of pivoting actually away from international travel. But thankfully, Canada is filled with so many hidden gems that you actually do not need to go far. And so I wanted to inspire people to travel our beautiful country. So I kind of made a list of 5 different places around the country that people can go to have a unforgettable experience.
Yeah, we all have, well, many of us have bucket lists when it comes to travel, and that is something you focused on as well.
Definitely.
So talk about some of your top 5 bucket list experiences in Canada.
So first stop, we are going to explore the underwater world of Tobermory. There is up to 20 shipwrecks. Actually, there's more than 20 shipwrecks in Tobermory, some dating back to the 1800s. So from the crystal clear waters, these stunning vessels underneath the water, and just the diverse marine life, Tobermory is one of those places that you really need to experience both above and below the water.
Yeah, from personal experience, I agree with you 100%. I've explored that part of the province frequently, and it is just beautiful. That turquoise water is impressive. It's cool, it's cold.
It's very cold,
yes,
but it almost transports you to like the tropics, just seeing those different hues of blue.
Yeah.
Next spot on our list is surfing adventures in Tofino in British Columbia. As someone who learned to surf in Tofino, I can personally recommend that Tofino is an absolute must. It is a surfer's paradise, and essentially you can go there without having ever surfed before, and there's so many surfing schools with just world-class instructors that will take you into the water and show you how it's done.
Right, and from a meteorological point of view, I know they get some impressive storms in Tofino as well, with the strong winds and so on during the winter season for the most part. I know some people actually even travel there for that reason too.
Exactly.
That's the sort of thing they're looking for.
Well, if you're experiencing surfing, it's got it all. Like it's year-round surfing conditions for both the experience and the inexperience.
Well, let's focus a little bit on our viewers in the Maritimes, in Nova Scotia and Quebec too, because there are some great places that people can explore in those provinces too.
The next stop on our list then is the World Heritage town of Lunenburg, and it is a quintessentially East Coast experience. And for me personally, I truly believe if you're Canadian and you have not had fish and chips in like a coastal town in Canada, you are missing out, because it is so unbelievably delicious. And from the historical buildings, the colorful architecture and boats, it is an absolute must.
Agree. I've been lucky enough to explore that part of Nova Scotia as well, and you're right, it is great, and the fish and chips just helps the whole experience.
So good.
How about my home province, Quebec? Well, what recommendations do you have there?
For a truly wild experience, we're heading over to Parc Omega in Montebello, Quebec. And it is for sleeping with the wolves and bears. Essentially, what it is your actual accommodations sit right at the edge of the wolves and bears habitat.
Wow.
And so you get to wake up watching these 2 beautiful animals just interact and live as a pack, howling in the mornings and at nights. It's awe-inspiring.
Well, if that's the sort of thing, some people may be a little afraid of that.
Very true.
But if it's done safely, hey,
I was going to say, it is in the comfort and safety of your accommodation.
Right, okay.
They are in a separate enclosure, and you're just on their habitat, watching them interact as normal animals.
Interesting stuff, for a different experience for sure. Okay, we only have a short amount of time left. What further cost-saving tips do you have if you are going to travel within our country? What would you say?
Of course. So I would always suggest to plan ahead of time. And as soon as you know the destination, make sure that you are putting on your Google Flights alerts. Because it will email you directly whenever the price fluctuates. The next tip is plan your route if you're road tripping, and plan to get gas at gas stations outside of the city, because typically gas in cities is always going to be more expensive.
Yep. Yeah. Well, those are all some great tips. Kaitlin, I really appreciate you joining us this morning. You've
Thank
gotten
you
me
so
excited about traveling some places across the country, some places that I was not even aware of. Kaitlin Narciso is a travel expert, and thanks again. We'll have much more Global News Morning coming up right after.